Hi everyone, I'm back. I'm all happy. Alright, before we begin, I want to wish everyone here a Merry Christmas. Also, I have a bit of a confession because I wasn't even aware that there had been a December 10th patch. I was completely and utterly oblivious. I never read the notes. I didn't know a damn thing. I found out about it when I released the Spartan montage and people started whispering me after I gave my Guild Wars 2 account name out, and I was getting whispers all day asking, one, for the build, and asking what my thoughts were on the patch notes and how it was going to affect warriors and things like that. Sadly, I don't think I've ever read any patch notes. Very rarely will I go in before a patch and be like, this is what's going to happen. Normally, I just kind of roll with it. I can't do nothing to change it. And generally, I have more fun just learning about it as I go along, but that's my whole thing. That doesn't mean everyone needs to do it or anything like that. It's just something I like doing because I like learning as I go. So I figure I'll go ahead and get started. I don't normally release builds this quick. However, given all the whispers I was getting, and people apparently are having a little bit of trouble with the recent patch, I thought might be a little bit beneficial. We'll start with strength. I went Great Fortitude mainly because I didn't think any of the other traits were really going to be that helpful for server PvP or tournament PvP action. For world versus world situations, Death from Above very well may be the one you want to go with, but again, that is also debatable, and I'm not even sure this build would work super well in world versus world because I haven't tried it. Give me a few days and I might try it, and we'll see. But I don't have level 80 warrior in PvE yet. Working on it. Alright, so I went Rending Strikes because this is really crit based. I'm critting a lot. If you watch the montage, I hit really high crits, and with the sword it attacks pretty often. So I'm critting and I'm hitting pretty often. So 33% to put vulnerability, that's pretty cool in my opinion. I thought it would be awesome. I thought about Furious Speed, but then I thought about it with Warrior Sprint. I didn't think it was going to be any helpful at all. I was asked why I didn't use Deep Cuts, because I gave this to a friend, and he was wondering why I wasn't using Deep Cuts, mainly because bleeds are not the main focus of the build, and so they're really just a little addition, you know? Like, for a warrior like myself, having those bleed stacks plus the crits, it's like the bleeds are keeping down the healing, the second per second healing, while the crit's really doing the damage. So it's like he's not really getting healing, but he's getting a little bit of healing, you know, if that makes sense. Next comes Blade Master. It's to increase the critical hit chance of your sword by 10%. You'll see later why that is such a big increase. Now, I wanted to bring notice to the fact that they moved Unsuspecting Foe from a tier 1 trait to a tier 2. I wasn't aware of this until earlier today, in fact. But I don't know which one of these they changed it with. I think they changed it with Crackshot. So I think that's really going to mess with like the stun build, or in quite a few of the hammer builds as well. I'm not sure about that. Like I kind of not sure how I feel about the whole changing of that, but we'll see how it all goes. And finally, because we are putting bleeds on them, though they're not the focus of the build, that 10% increased damage to a bleeding foe when every hit besides one is putting them on, it's nice. It's nice to have. Shield Master, because we're running around with a shield, there's no real other reason to be using anything else. Not to mention the reduction charge is because I like to use shield stance quite often, and shield bash is awesome because it's just awesome. One moment, I'm taking a drink. Water is awesome. Okay, in any case, you could change this out for Dogged March or Missile Deflection. I didn't go with Missile Deflection because I'm only using one blocking ability, and without the reduction, it is actually 30 seconds. Not that that's like a huge increase or decrease, but I like being able to use things faster and faster. So like the faster I can do it, the faster you're going to die. That's how I see it. You could do Weaken Foes, but there's not really any abilities we're using besides one that's actually going to put weakness on them. So Oh, no, never mind. I thought I was thinking vulnerability. So, no, probably not even then. Dogged March and Surefooted would be the ones I would probably go with, or because I'm using 2 stances. Okay, Cleansing Ire. I'm using my burst abilities very often. Just to bring reference to the montage video, I used my burst abilities pretty much in every fight. I'm not 100% on that, but I do use them very often. And normally in a build like, or not a build like this, a condition build, you would use Flurry to stack those 8 bleeds really quickly, as well as the level 3 Immobilize. I'm using it for an entirely different purpose. I'm using it for all those crits. When I Flurry on someone, normally I'm hitting them 8 times fairly quickly, and the damage just keeps increasing. Like a lot how you would use like 100 blades on somebody, except 100 blades, of course, is going to use a whole lot more damage really quickly. Flurry just does. Flurry is my 100 blades. That is a whole lot less strong. And of course, Final Thrust is just awesome for that. When they're below 50%, I've crit people for like 7,000. It's like, wham, you're out. I'm all excited today. In any case, Discipline, you can change this. Signet Mastery, I've seen some people use this one. My friend loved Signet Mastery more than he did Warrior Sprint, but I like to move quickly. When someone's running away from me, or hell, if I'm just trying to get to a point quicker, it's cool to have Warrior Sprint, so I'm like, yeah, running all my ass down there. But Signet Mastery is kind of nice because you are using 3 Signets. I would never use Healing Signet. I never actually activate it. I had to train myself not to do that because, you know, when I'm playing my other ults, I'm always hitting the 6 ability to heal. It's like, I gotta get healed. But when I'm Mama Warrior, I don't do that. I do use Signet of Stamina and Signet of Rage. I use Signet of Stamina and Berserker Stance mainly for, well, Berserker Stance for the adrenaline, and it keeps conditions from being stacked on while it's active, as well as quickly removing the ones that you already have on. And then Signet of Stamina, when you actually activate it, it's nice to use to get rid of them all real quick, and it's faster endurance regeneration. But I'm not quite on utilities yet, so I'm not sure why I'm down there. Vigorous Focus, I had a hard time choosing between Vigorous Focus and the Sprint, because, like I said, I do like to move quickly, but the Vigor is nice to have when you're trying to dodge a whole lot. But I figured I went against Vigorous Focus, only because the Signet of Stamina is regenerating my endurance a lot already. Finally, I went with Fast Hands because I need to swap between my longbow and my sword and shield often. And when I say often, I mean like every 5 seconds. Alright. We're going to move on to runes. I use the runes of the Ogre because inevitably the sword is not generally used for crit damage or power. It's generally a condition based, and it just doesn't hold as much attack power as like a greatsword or a hammer. Well, actually, I'm wrong when I say that because they're all the same weapon strength. Basically, the build just doesn't give as much power as it needs. If you're catching my drift, I screwed up there at the moment ago. But the power that this is giving, plus the +4 increase to damage, not to mention the awesome Rock Dog. Keep in mind that you could probably use several other power-based runes. You do not have to use the rune of the Ogre. I like it because of the +4% damage, and I like seeing a Rock Dog appear every now and then. Who can blame me? However, the rune of the Centaur would be nice. However, I mainly use that for my Thief, generally because when you use the healing ability, you get swiftness and you could stack it, yada yada yada. But I never use my healing ability. I'm trying to think of another one. Shit, I can't think of one off the top of my head at the moment, because I'm always using Ogre. Generally, it's my favorite rune. Gladius of Fire, not Gladius of Fire, but I use the Sigil of Superior Fire, and 30% on critical eye trigger or Flame Blast for AoE damage. We're all familiar with it, and I have 62% critical chance while using my sword. Like, oh, never mind, 62%, because I'm also using the Sigil of Superior Accuracy on my shield. This, of course, can be changed to just about anything you really want to use. I wanted to have a little bit more crit, but it's not, it's not like something you need to do. It's something I chose to do on my own. And of course, you can see here it says 52%. Why am I saying 62? But I'm going back over here where it says the critical hit chance of your sword is increased by 10%. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to tell you exactly. You have to add it on yourself. If I swap to my bow, it only goes down 5% because I'm not using that superior accuracy. I'm using the sigil of superior fire again on my bow, but you do not have to. I sometimes wonder if I should be using bloodlust or accuracy to increase the power. As you can see also, by the way, that when I go to my bow, I have more power. Ooh, awesome. In any case, I wonder sometimes if I should use bloodlust or accuracy, but I already have a lot of crit, and my power is all right. And so I'll just kind of went with the superior fire, in my opinion. I am, of course, using the Berserker Amulet, Berserker Jewel, nothing really fancy about that. And as I was going over quite unprofessionally earlier, the healing signet, balance snatch, because you want the stability, the swiftness, and the breaking, the stun. The stun break is awesome to have when you just, those stunners are beating the shit out of you. You just break the stun, get the hell out of there, regain your positioning, go back in. Signet of stamina, I like to dodge a lot. I'm a big dodger. As you can see, it regenerates fairly quickly with the signet of stamina, so I can dodge more often, as well as if I activate it, it cures all conditions I currently have on me. Berserker Stance I've already gone over. It restores adrenaline quickly. It's going up real fast. As well as not allowing any conditions to be applied to me the entire 8 seconds I have it on or active. Which is pretty cool. Finally, the Signet of Rage because of Fury, Might, and Swiftness. I am a firm believer that Juggernaut and Battle Standard are just not useful due to their extreme... One, Rampage just sucks. My personal opinion, don't ever use Rampage. The damage is not high at all. The stability is okay, but it doesn't have any real damage. All it really is just increasing your health for a little bit for like 20 seconds. And for the 150, I mean, it's just... You get bigger. Woo! Big deal. The Battle Standard is alright. I do like the Battle Standard because I think it has a nice... I like how you can throw it down and revive a fallen ally. We all know I'm not really the biggest team player out there. I kind of go solo when I'm in a match. I completely forget I'm even on a team. But the Battle Standard is nice if you're going in to try and revive allies. You can just throw it down, they're up again, and you're kicking ass. But... Again, that has really long cooldown. I do like that it gives the Fury, Might, and Swiftness, but that does too, and it's only for a minute, and that lasts for a minute, and I have to wait so much longer. It's just not something I want to do. Finally, before this video is over, keep in mind I'm going so fast because I don't want these videos to be like 20 minutes long like my prior ones. It's not something I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to bore you guys. I'm trying to get you the builds. You have fun. Go with it. Alright. I'm going to go against Chieftain Utahane. It's kind of how I've started to call him. I think that's Utahane, something like that. In any case, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to activate Signet of Rage. And this is pretty much a rotation of what you need to be doing, but not necessarily. I don't believe in actual rotations because oftentimes when you're in an actual fight, you don't have the time to actually get off that entire rotation. But this is how if you could get it off, and if you have that ability to get it off and have time, you're patient, and you're able to just lock them down and stuff, this is how a perfect one is going to look. I've also noticed I've wasted my Signet of Rage, so I'm going to be doing this without it. Alright, you're going to start with Savage Leap, you're going to bash them, and generally I will hit them with the number 1, for me it's number 4, ability several times to get off a couple bleeds, as well as a good few crits. Let's start it up. I'm going to start with Pin Down. I'm going to blind them, throw down the, whatever that ability is, I forgot. You notice I hit him for 4,200, I can't talk. Shield block. Waiting for Shield Bash, come back up. Flurry him. Notice. And I survived with about 17,500 hit points, which isn't bad at all. Now let's see if I can't do the same to Savanier over here with the Signet of Rage active this time. I'm not going to worry about the cooldowns I currently have, because they're not really important. Oh shit, he knocked me out. He knocked me down. Blind. Flame him. Or burn him. Notice he's below 50% health, and 5,600 crit right there. That is nice. I love it. Ooh, give me more. Get wrecked. Alright, that's going to be the end of all of this. I do like that, I find that this build is very fun to run in just about anything. I found it real fun to play. So, I think that you guys will have a really fun time running it. Despite the December 10th patch, I finally did go in and read some of the patch notes, because I hate not being able to continue a conversation with someone when they try and discuss something with me. And so I apologize to a few of you who brought that up, and I didn't really know what you were talking about because I never read them. So I did go in and read a few of them. I'll admit I kind of got bored. I don't like patch notes. I think they're kind of boring in my opinion. Look, presents, give me some. Alright, so that's the end of this video. Enjoy the build. Have fun with it. Kick some ass. What was I going to say? There was one last thing. Oh, I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and I'm going to be releasing builds and montages all throughout December. I might take a little bit of a break between, you know, Christmas and towards, you know, New Year's. But apart from that, I will be out releasing videos at least one a week, at least, despite recent problems that have kind of arisen and kind of bothered me and things like that. Look, I'm going to dodge. 1, 2, 3, go! Woohoo! Alright, nah, I'm dodging around. Alright. Oh, there was a promotion I was going to do. If this video gets at least 25 likes, I will perform a montage video with the build of your choosing, of the most popular demand. Doesn't matter what build it is. It could be condition, crit, bunker, what support, anything. You give me the traits, you give me the runes, you give me the sigils, you tell me what utilities to use, and I will make a montage of it either working or failing, but likely I pride myself on being able to run any build for at least Warrior. So this hits 25 likes, then you get to decide what happens in the next video. Enjoy.